What's up, Authentic fam? Welcome back to Authentic Alphas. Today we're going to have a discussion I think is underhad. What's the word? Not being had?
Necessary?
Yeah, it's not present. So let me go ahead and introduce my guest. What is your name and where are you from?
Hi guys, I'm Alexa from Miami. City
Okay.
girl.
All right. And you say you were mixed with Jamaican and Colombian. No, Haitian and Colombian.
Yes, correct.
Wait, so who's the Colombian one? Who's the Haitian one?
So my dad, let me tell you a story. So my dad was in the cartel, he was a gangster.
All right, enough of that.
So then,
All right, enough of that. All right, so the dad's the Colombian one, right?
yes,
And he like brown girls.
he is a brown man. My dad is darker than you.
Oh, he's a dark Colombian. Dude.
Yes,
Okay.
Colombian.
And he likes Haitian chicks. Interesting.
Yes, my dad has like 15 children.
Oh, so he got variety.
Yes, and like 10 baby mamas. And I'm not over exaggerating.
That's awesome.
That is not awesome.
It is for a man. For a man, that means that he is
Liked?
that means he's reproductively successful. Reproduction wise, that's the goal of the male of the species. So technically speaking, he won. in the game of life and procreation, he won with the male mating strategy. Whereas for a woman, she just needs to secure a husband and bring her children to adulthood. For her, that's the win. Yeah. So a lot of women, I think, they have been brainwashed to look at that as somehow it's an offense to her if the guy has more than one family. But the reality is she wins as long as she is provided for. As long as she got the stability and whatever, she technically won.
I think it all depends on your value systems and what's important to you. Because if you're the type of person, who all you care about is as long as I'm taken care of, and you respect me, I'm good. Not everybody's like that,
Well, look, at the end of the day, I'm always going to win the polygamy argument or polygamy or whatever the fuck these knuckleheads are calling it nowadays. But I'm always going to win this argument because regardless of the sensibilities, what women agree with, disagree with, prefer, don't prefer, whatever, reality is women are having children by men who already have children. So the point is that women are sharing baby daddies, yet they're disgusted by the idea of sharing a husband. Make that make sense.
I agree with you. One of the things I always say is that there's always going to be another woman to cheat with. So as long as a majority of women are okay with engaging with a man who already has a family or already has a significant other, then you can't really put all the blame on the men. I feel like if the women were to stop doing that, then the men would fall in line.
Yeah, but first of all, there's no blame to be had.
Because there would be no woman to sleep with.
There's no blame to be had. And the real issue is that the women are conditioned to refuse any type of leadership or being dictated to by a man. That's the real issue. The modern woman doesn't care what he's saying. It's the fact that he's trying to tell her to do something or to not do something. It's already no. They're already not cooperating. He could be like, hey, I don't want you smoking. I want you eating better and taking better care of yourself. No, you don't tell me what to do. So what happens is you just use the word cheating. And I'm like, well, where was cheating in the equation? Because if you're talking about a man having multiple wives, where's the cheating? So if a guy or men or however we want to, whatever we're using to symbolize the man being the one saying, hey, I want to take multiple wives. The women automatically like, no. Yeah, no, because it's the man's idea. If the man is the one saying it, the man is the one taking lead and saying, this is my plan, the women are automatically, no, cooperation isn't happening. But if you leave the women to their own devices, what you get is women fucking other women's husbands. You get women being cool with being the side bitch. You get women having a kid with a dude that already had a kid. Am I making this shit up, guys?
So then it's backdoor.
I'm giving a different perspective, and I'm coming with an argument that it's going to be unique in the realm. So I'm not going to waste time arguing with a female. I'm not going to waste time arguing with chicks. Like, no, this is why polygamy is positive, and this is why it's good. Fuck all that noise. I'm going to make it real simple. When the man is having a plan, he's saying, I'm working, I'm building myself up, I'm creating this equity and this value and this wealth. And what I choose to do with that is marry more than one woman. He had to work hard to put himself in a position to even propose that. And the modern woman is shooting that down because to them it sounds like slavery or being controlled or whatever negative nonsense they're going to come with. Now, compare that to what women are doing in absence of the man being the lead. Right? Take the man out of the picture with his plan and his mansplaining or whatever other negative lingo they want to use, and just let them do what they would do. What would you do then? If you were in charge, if you were making the decisions, you calling the shots, ma, what would you do? Oh, well, I'd be this rapper or this high status dude's side bitch. I'd be fucking this business owner's this woman's successful husband.
But that's,
you see what I'm saying? I'd be having my second kid with another dude, besides the kid with my first dude. I'd be having another kid with another dude who also has a kid by another chick. This is what women do when they have the plan.
What kind of person are we talking about? There's something a reasonable person would do, and there's something a non-reasonable person would do.
No.
And
Hold on, real quick before you go there.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about what individuals are doing. I'm talking about our society is set up in this way where one man marries one woman is accepted, but polygamy is not. Okay? And this is what the women are doing is my point. It's not It's not about Keisha from over here did that, or Susan from the good neighborhood did that. I'm talking about this is what's happening in our society. It's not about it's not about the individual. It's there are single mothers out here. Check. That's a fact. There are women out here that are fine with being a side bitch. There's songs about it and everything. They sing it. They post it on social media. Side bitch. It's accepted. They have gave that a seal of approval. It's okay to be a side bitch, right? So that's happening. And statistically speaking, women that have multiple children tend to have children by men who also have multiple children. So with other women. So my point is, this is happening in our society. I don't care about an individual. This is happening in our society. But what's not happening is men becoming successful and having the freedom to have polygamous relationships and marry multiple women, which would be better for everyone. It would have structure. It would have integrity, right? There would be loyalty there. There would be commitment there. There'd be accountability there. And it has to be worked for, it has to be planned, and it has to be agreed upon with everyone. Side bitch, that's not planned, that's not agreed. You think the main woman is agreeing to the side bitch? Then it's not earned. Where did anybody earn that privilege or that right to do that? Where's the loyalty? There is no loyalty. Where's the integrity? There is no integrity. So my point is, you just let women run rampant and do what they would like to do, minus the control of a man, right? And this is the society that we have, the system that we have. And all these women will tell you, oh, hell no, I ain't sharing no husband. I'm not this polygamy shit, multiple wives. And it's like, but I just explained to you how that would make a hell of a lot more sense. It would be more godly, more positive. It would be more righteous than what is taking place. And it's not like men are just going to walk around and say, yo, I'm a man. I do whatever I want. I'm going to have this bitch, that bitch, that bitch. Polygamy doesn't work that way.
But that is how most men walk around.
No. Hold on.
That is how men walk around. No. I'm a man. I'm going to take this bitch. I'm going to take that bitch. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And you're a woman. So do what I say.
Hold on.
That is how men walk around.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's how it is, minus the leadership of good men. That's my point. They can do that freely because women are the ones setting the tone.
Okay, finish.
It's what women will accept rather than what men have put into place, have put into structure. That's what I'm trying to say. For example, why is polygamy illegal in the first place? Because certain men in power decided it's illegal.
Well,
you see what I'm trying to say?
I think certain things happen that cause
All right.
people to die.
The same way,
like that.
the same way that polygamy is illegal, is the same way they can make it illegal. They can make what's it called? When you cheat on somebody and when you're
I wish
married.
they did.
What the hell is that called? You know what the hell am I talking
Cheating?
about? Yeah, but there's a technical word for it. I can't remember it right now. Anyhow, but they could make married people cheating illegal if they wanted to.
That's a great idea.
They can make children out of wedlock illegal. They can make anything illegal if they felt
No,
like it.
I understand what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, I don't think it's such because just what you said. Because a lot of women are doing it anyway. They're just doing it the wrong way, the wrong approach,
That's
or
my
whatever.
point.
I feel like the reason that it's not being openly accepted is because, number one, how many men out here actually can afford to take care of multiple women, let alone one, correctly, properly, lead them and do all these things? That's number one. So there's I'm sorry. Sometimes women might look at it in a bad way because all these broke dudes talk about some. Oh, I want to do polygamy. Like, bruh, get out of here. Like if a man was put together, financially secure, had shit together. You think if that type of man, good character, all that stuff, if that type of man would approach a woman and say, okay, look, I want to do all these things for you, but I need to be able to have, more than one wife, or I believe in this is my belief, and to be with me, you have to agree to this or whatever. If it was presented the way you're saying, all packaged correctly, I don't think it would be such an issue. And if it was delivered upon, I don't think it would be such an issue. But most men can't even take care of one household, let alone try and manage 2 or 3, 4, 5 women.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is all of what you're saying is besides the point, because what I'm saying is the reason why that's the case is because there isn't acceptance for male leadership and men making the decisions, calling the shots, and making the rules, creating the structure.
I'm saying men are incapable of doing that at this point, which is why the women won't follow.
Oh, they're not. So what I'm saying, this is why what you're saying about guys not being able to afford these families is null and void. Because the Pukus and the Rurus and the Ray Rays are having the most babies. They are impregnating multiple women. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. And they're not doing that because they're making the rules and calling the shots. They're doing that because the females are the ones that are running the dating market right now in the sexual marketplace, and they have no structure. They have no rules. You get what I'm saying? That's not how women operate. Women operate off of their feelings. So these children that are being born, they're simply being born because women felt away at a time and shit happened. Whereas if men were the ones in control of these systems, we would already have a protocol that younger men have to follow. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think you're mixing, like, for example, okay.
Hold on, you're not letting me finish. This is why you don't understand what I'm saying.
Okay.
The children that are coming into the world are not coming into the world because men decided that I want to have children. I'm prepared for it. I put this into place, that into place, and all these other things into place. That's not how it's happening. It's happening because women are in control of that, and they are living through their feelings. I like this guy in this moment. We're hooking up. Oh, I'm pregnant. Do I keep it? Do I not keep it? Let me think about it.
You can't simplify it that way. You can't simplify it. Hold on.
But that's how it's happening.
A woman making a decision to have a child. You can't simplify it that way.
Okay, so go ahead and show me where men making the decision is. Where's the men's decision anywhere in how children are coming into this world?
Number one, don't sleep with a woman you want to have a kid with. Period.
Okay, you can't say that because majority.
That's the equivalent of saying, the woman letting you fuck and have a kid. That's like the same equivalent.
Hold on, you can't say that because majority of dudes that are having sex are not intending to have children. So then, and also, it's
don't put the seed in the soil.
Just listen to what I'm trying to say. It's not up to them whether or not that child is had. Mm-hmm. All they can decide is whether or not they're gonna have sex with this chick. Okay, that's it. So yes, guard your seat. I get it. Congratulations, good job. In 10 days, I'm doing a speech all about dick discipline, which is basically leads to also protect your seed. So I'm not arguing that. The point I'm trying to make is that Who is controlling that aspect of our society is women. And they're not doing it with any type of thought or consideration or planning for the future.
Okay, I agree with you.
Or any kind of structure or this is what I want and this is how I want it to be. and these things have to be in place first. And hold on.
I agree with you.
Hold on, because I'm going to prove it right now. Women are controlling the sex, period. So women would not be having children out of wedlock unless women wanted to have children out of wedlock.
Okay.
There's a million ways that they could prevent pregnancy, number one.
I agree with you.
If they were going to have unprotected sex, there's still a million ways that they could prevent themselves from getting pregnant. And they could simply say to men, I'm not going to carry your seed until you put a ring on it. But they don't.
I agree with you.
They're not saying that.
I agree with that because I'm gonna use myself for example. Like, okay, I was married to this dude or whatever, and I knew I didn't want to have a kid with him, so I purposely didn't want to get pregnant. But like my biggest fear was to be a single mom, so I purposely would make sure nobody would knock me up, right? So as far as controlling it and planning and things like that, totally agree. And then, you know, my mom, growing up Haitian, they convinced me, oh, you're married, you have to do it. You have to try to. Okay, so I had the kid. Boom, boom, boom. But like you said, I knew that I didn't want to do it. And I had the control to say, okay, no, this is not the man I want to replicate my child after. No, we're not doing that. Like I had the full control and power to say no, but for whatever reason,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, it is that simple. I didn't oversimplify it. All right?
True.
And I can prove this right now with something that nobody can deny. Go up to an Ivy League school, go up to Princeton and Yale, right? Go up there and start fucking bitches and go ahead and show me how many chicks you can get pregnant. It's not going to happen.
It's true.
You know why? Because those chicks have a plan.
You're not going to mess up my career.
Exactly. Yeah. Those chicks know what they're doing for the next 4 years.
True.
And then they know what they want to do after they graduate. And then they know what they want to do after that. They know. They have a plan.
It's true.
So the chicks out here that are getting pregnant and getting knocked up, the reason why it's happening is because they don't have a plan. It's that simple. So it's idle time.
I'm going to blame that
on... It could happen.
I'm going to also blame that on how a lot of people are raised. Like, you know, like for example, me.
Yeah, but who's raising these people though?
No, I'm saying just like an example, right? My mom. If my mom was a white woman, she would not try to convince me. She'd be like, "No, girl, finish your career first." You know what I mean? So sometimes, why I said at first, don't simplify, because sometimes other forces come into play with the woman's decision making.
Not sometimes. Always.
Always. You know what I mean?
There's always going to be friends. There's always going to be social media.
Exactly.
There's always going to be family.
Exactly.
And then there's always going to be the overall arching society.
Yeah.
That's just the way that operates. Okay? So that's what I'm saying. If men were allowed, how dare they, if they were allowed to be planners, to be organizers, and to be leaders,
I blame my religion too.
We would have a completely different system. You would see something completely different. I'm not saying people would stop having sex out of wedlock. They'd be just as much, if not more. What I'm saying is it'd be structured in a way where there wouldn't be any oops babies. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying.
But I don't think polygamy is the solution for that. I think those things are individual people that have to come to those conclusions.
I'll give you an example of what I mean about you take the leadership out the equation, because I don't think you're getting it, right? Let's say let's say what the deciding factor used to be on whether or not this teenage girl goes out with said guy. The deciding factor back in the day used to be her parents collectively, mostly the father. He was deciding whether or not his daughter could go out with this guy. And a lot of the fathers would either say no, or they would say, I have to meet this guy.
Of course.
And now guess what? Before he even has an opportunity to get anywhere near that pussy, he would have to meet certain criteria. Mm-hmm. He couldn't just be unemployed.
Of course.
He couldn't just be, unruly. He couldn't be disrespectful. He couldn't be, somebody that didn't have punctuality, respect, home training, upbringing, manners. He had to have all of these things before the father would even say, all right, I'll let you go out with my daughter. And I'm pretty sure he probably did not want his daughter and that guy hooking up. That doesn't mean that he could prevent it. It's going to end up happening. Mm-hmm. They're not going to let him know, but they're going to end up at some point in time probably fooling around. But the point is that dude was screened, though. He had to first be screened before he could even go out with her. So that doesn't happen anymore Because the fathers aren't there anymore. Why? Because the women aren't making it a priority. Why? Because they weren't raised by their father. So it's a continuous cycle, right? So now the women are going out and they're deciding who they're going to date themselves. 14, 15, 16, they decide what boy they're going to be fooling around with. So now the standards went whoop.
Yeah.
So now broke niggas is getting pussy.
It's all casual now.
Right? Now niggas with no respect is getting pussy. Now niggas that don't even give you a ride home afterwards, they'll call you an Uber. Them niggas is getting pussy now. You see what I'm trying to say? And then women are complaining about the quality of man, and they're not realizing that, hello, sis. The reason why these dudes are like this is because they were raised by single moms. You're not realizing that men and women cannot be separated. What we do will always affect the other. There's no vacuum when it comes to men and women because we're the same fucking species. You can't separate lions from lionesses. It doesn't work that way. They're lions. They're the lion species. So their behavior is always going to affect each other. What you do to one is going to affect the other, period. So they're pointing the finger and blaming the men, not realizing that it's generations of women making poor decisions why we have the men we have today. So now, who can break the cycle? We can't break the cycle because women cannot raise these boys. A woman can't say, I'm gonna raise an upstanding gentleman. No, you can't, because you're not an upstanding gentleman. You aren't an upstanding gentleman, so how are you gonna raise one? You see what I'm trying to say? Just like when a girl gets her period, she can't go to her father for any type of guidance with that one.
Can't you say, like, instead, can't you say two people making the wrong decisions? Because
not when it comes to the womb, though.
You keep putting all the blame on the woman.
Hold on. Hold on. Not when it comes to the womb, though. All right. For example, I had a friend, this fly dude named Eniel, right? Dominican dude from New York, and he was always telling us, "Yo, my nigga, I gotta have 10 wives." Really? Yeah, bro. I want 10 wives. I want one white girl. I want one black girl. I want one girl from Colombia. I want one girl from... I'm just like, whatever, nigga. Right? But here's the thing, though. He was dead serious about that. But he understood that that's not going to be him just going around tricking girls. Instead, he built himself up. He made sure he made that type of money where he could go to DR and be like, listen, here's the thing. I want you to be my girl, but my girl in DR.
That's what I was saying.
And I'm going to take care of you.
That's what
and
I
I'm
was
going to pay
saying.
for this, and this.
If you present it, the woman probably be like, oh, we'll consider it. Because a lot of women aren't open to that. Like, women are looking these things up. Right, but what I'm saying is
he created that situation where that could even happen is what I'm trying to say. Because he knew that that's what it's going to take for him to get what he wants. That's a man making a plan. Now, he can make all those decisions around himself. Because I know y'all are like, where the hell are you going with this, Allende? What I'm trying to say is he makes the decisions around himself. Am I going to go get an education or not? Am I going to get a driver's license or not? Am I going to work and buy a nice car or not? Am I going to save my money and build my credit and buy a house or not? Now, what the woman gets to decide is, am I going to give this punani to this dude that has no car or not? Am I going to give this punani to this dude that has a house or not? Am I going to give this punani to this guy that has an education or not? Am I going to... That's what she gets to do. And hold on, before you go there, because women will be quick. Women will be quick to say, I only date dudes that's over 6 foot. They'll be quick to say that. So the same way they could say, I don't deal with dudes under 6 foot, is the same way they could say, I don't deal with dudes that aren't about family. I don't deal with dudes that aren't looking to get married. I don't deal with dudes, okay, who aren't educated. I don't deal with dudes.
I 100% agree. But you know,
that's the decision that they get to make. Right?
But I don't know, Andy. I feel like
that's the decision they get to make, though. So you can't say, oh, it sounds like two people making bad decisions. No. When it comes to her reproductive, she decides who she gives access to.
The outside forces. One outside forces is deceit and deception, because old boy could look like he got a house and a car, got it all put together.
Yeah, but that's why his dad. That's why her dad's supposed to be there. Because you ain't gonna trick the dad.
We already acknowledged that.
You ain't gonna trick the dad.
We acknowledge that the dad's not there. We already acknowledged the dad's not there. So then you can't even say that. And then on top of that, a big one for me, I think, is religion. Because let's say it does happen, the girl's like, I don't want to have this kid by him. Oh, damn, I'm pregnant. I don't want to have this kid by him. Then you go to the abortion. Now your religion is telling you you have to have this child or you're going to hell. So then you have this child. The church don't even help you. So then it's more outside forces. Like, they affect women more than
But that's why
think.
that's why that decision is so delicate and dire, and that's why women back in the day didn't fool around, because they didn't have the safety nets that they have today. We enable people to make bad decisions, especially women today. We enable them because we give them all these solutions to bad decisions. You see what I'm trying to say? And ultimately it leads to a miserable life. That's the thing. See, these chicks think they're getting away with something, but at the end of the day, they're not. That's why every day you open up the internet, some chick is crying about past decisions that she can't take back. Every single day, every day. Some chick who was just a little while ago, she was bragging and trying to make regular bitches that work 9 to 5s jealous. She was trying to make housewives that live boring lives, just taking care of their husbands and their kids, trying to make them jealous. Like, you made the wrong choice, you basic bitch. I'm doing it big. All right, give it a year or two. She's crying. Nobody wants me. I didn't know that this was going to happen. When I did it, they manipulated me. I was a victim. I was a young girl. I didn't know any better. And that's not what you were saying when you were on the private jets. That's not what you were saying with the Herman's bags or whatever.
Herman's.
Whatever the hell they had, the Louis Vuittons and all of that. You weren't saying that then. You were bragging and showing it off and putting it in every other chick's face who can't afford that. Chicks trying to clip coupons and run their household with their husband. You were bragging to those broads, right? Trying to convince them that your choices were better. But now here you are crying and nobody wants nothing to do with you because you made bad decisions.
True.
So that's what I'm saying. These women are proud to support abortion and all this other kind of stuff. But then what happens when you're all alone in those quiet moments when you're crying and you're feeling guilty now because you almost lost count of how many babies you done butchered? You see what I'm trying to say?
Oh, babies butchered. Oh.
But, but society is enabling these women. They're encouraging this type of, this egotistical behavior where there's no balance. There's no balance. You can't do so much on this side and not expect it to tip over. It's got to be some kind of balance, right? You're looking for a husband. You weren't caring about what men want, what men think. Now you're upset that nobody wants to marry you. It doesn't make any sense. There needed to be some type of balance, right? Where you say, well, I care to an extent what the other person wants also. Let's meet in the middle. How can we both get what we want, right? But that's not the attitude. But see, men are always going to have some DNA in them. That's problem-solving DNA. Even the ones that didn't grow up with their father or whatever, men are always going to have some problem-solving DNA in them. And they're going to find a way. Which is why now you got dudes getting their shit together, saving their money.
Finally.
Making completely different investments, right? And guess what they're doing? They getting that damn passport, they're transferring, they're working remotely,
Yeah.
and they're going to another country.
Period.
They're going back in time. Because when you go to other countries, a lot of times, really, essentially what you're doing is, you're going back in time. Because the culture there is still behind. It's still behind a little bit. Even though they got the internet, they're still behind a little bit. Right? So those chicks can see what's going on. They can see Instagram and everything. They see what these Western chicks are doing. But a lot of them are held captive because they don't have a visa. So they can see it, but they can't go participate. So they're forced to stay humble and traditional to an extent.
That's when you get the story of, I married her and then I moved to the U.S. with her.
Yeah,
She
but
left me as soon as she could.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing though. Our world is all about men exchanging information. So that might have been what dumb dudes were doing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. God bless them, they didn't know any better. But guys today know. Because it's understood. Hey, don't bring her back to America. Hey, bro, do not bring her back to Canada. Hey, whoa, do not bring her to Australia. So guys know, they get it. They're like, oh, okay, just stay in that. Exactly, nigga. Stay in that poor ass country. Anyway. You see what I'm saying? So they know, they get it. Right? So they're not making that mistake anymore. So this is what I'm saying. It is what it is. Men and women will be better off. They're not going to be back the way they were. There's no way to fix it. It's broken forever. You get all the crazy glue and duct tape you want. But women's best bet at this point is to let qualified men lead. Right? Because when you say that to women, immediately they're opposed to it, and that's because they're making the wrong assumptions. When you say let men lead, we're not talking about men in general. Calm down, sis. Calm down. We're not talking about all men. That's not how leadership works. Okay? That's not how winning works. That's not how alpha shit works. It's always going to be the small minority. Hello. That's the whole fucking point. If a man's a leader, he's leading more people than himself. It's a pyramid type deal. So women need to let qualified men lead, and also, this is the best part, they need to sit the fuck back and let those qualified men get elected by other men. Because that's the thing. Women don't necessarily know what makes a winner. They don't necessarily know what makes a leader. They don't necessarily know. It's amongst men that we need to sort out the hierarchy and decide who's best, who's most fit for the job, who's the most experienced, blah, 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 blah. Men need to decide that amongst themselves. And then once they've nominated said guy, then the woman can just ask, excuse me, who's in charge around here? Oh, that'd be that guy over there. Thank you. Hey, I heard you're in charge. Well, yes, I am, ma'am. How can I help you? Right? Mm-hmm. That's how that works. And if you notice, the weak dudes are the ones that are constantly running around looking for some type of approval from women, some type of validation, get all these guys on OnlyFans and all these simps all over the place. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to acquire some type of nomination or validation from women. And it's like, hello, dumbass. Women aren't the ones that decide the winners, you fucking idiot. You're confusing the spoils of success, being vagina, with who judges the winner. You're confusing those two things. The guy getting all the pussy, he's not getting the pussy because the women decided he was a winner. He's getting that because he went and competed in life against other men and was determined the winner. They just are part of the consolation prize. Right? So the dudes that are growing up with no men in their lives, they don't know that. They don't understand that fundamentally. They're thinking the women decide who's the winner. No, bro, they don't. So what you need to do is take your punk ass and go into a male sphere and go compete. And when you win, then you can come back and you can get you some poon. Right? That's how that works.
I understand. Mm-hmm.
Right. So anyhow, I understand that you're not okay with the polygamy thing.
No,
but the guy just has to be rich.
It's not that I'm not okay with it. I feel like everybody's different, and what works for one person or one group may not work for another group. Everybody's culturally different. Everybody's mentally different, so on and so forth. That's all. I don't believe you can just put everybody into this, bubble per se. But I do believe that is definitely something that's workable. It's something that I believe works for a lot of people, and it's a good solution if it works for you, if you're okay, with that. I would try it.